these people on those. Hola amigos, ¿qué tal? Stuart here from Spain Speaks with an update video. We'll have a bit of a chat about what's been happening in Spain over the last few days while I go for a drive, and I haven't done one of these videos for a while, so let's see if I remember how this type of video is done. So let's go. Now, as I said, we'll have a bit of a chat about what's been going on in Spain over the last few days leading up to the elections, which are going to be in a couple of weeks' time. The 28th of May is the date for municipal and autonomous community elections around the country. Not all autonomous communities are having elections. I think Andalusia, for example, is not having elections at an autonomous community level. They had them last year or the year before. But here in Madrid, for example, yes, there are autonomous community elections as well as municipal elections. For example, in this part of the world where I'm living here, we have elections on the 28th, and hasn't the local council been busy fixing things up? I've never seen so many different works going on at the same time. New bus stops have been put in, bike lanes, which we'll see in a minute. The local council here spending lots of money, and according to the polls, they're the favourite to be re-elected. But then again, it was a magazine that's published by that political party or the council, so I'm sure that they're talking themselves up at the moment. So we'll see on the 28th who wins the elections, of course. Now, talking about bike lanes, this is the famous bike lane that was put in a couple of months ago now. We can see here nobody using the bike lane at all, and in fact I'd say they're one of the most underused bike lanes that I've ever seen, and I've been using it quite a lot. I've been riding my bike a lot recently and using the bike lanes because it is the safest way to ride a bike on these roads. Even though when you come to a roundabout like this one here, bikes have to cross over in front of the cars, and that, in my opinion, is the most dangerous aspect of these bike lanes. You can see here again, the bikes have to cross over in front, but luckily there's not a lot of bikes, so don't have to worry about it. But when I am on my bike riding, I think it's a little bit dangerous. So what's been going on in Spain over the last few days? Well, it's all about elections, as I mentioned, and the PSOE party in hot water at the moment because of the deals that they have done with a certain political party, which apparently have come back to bite them with regard to the municipal elections, because the political party in question, Bildu, which is the political arm of a former terrorist group in this country, have decided to put on their political lists or their election lists some 35 or 40 people that have had quite a checkered past when it comes to terrorism in this country. And the right-wing parties especially up in arms and asking the Prime Minister to break the relationship that it has with this political party, Bildu, because of them putting these people on those... because of this party Bildu putting them on the lists, and that is the issue. And apparently 7 of the people that have been put on the electoral list in order to have a chance to be elected in those municipal elections have been convicted of blood crimes. That is, they have killed people in the past or attempted to kill people in the past. So former terrorists, as I said, on the lists, and a lot of people here in Spain unhappy that this has happened. The political party Bildu has rectified and said that these people won't take office if they do happen to win, and we'll have to wait and see, of course, but some very strange times indeed when it comes to political parties and manoeuvres. Now, I was going to wash the car, but this apparently has been removed, the car wash here, so I have to move on to a plan B when it comes to washing my car, unfortunately. So I'll get back on the highway, find another place to wash the car. So that's what's dominating the press at the moment here in Spain, the Bildu debate, a Basque political party which, as I mentioned, has been doing lots of deals with the government recently. Nobody knows what goes on behind the scenes when it comes to these deals. We only see the things that get done at a national level. We don't see what negotiations go on behind the scenes, what concessions political parties like Bildu get. The government has also done deals with another party that wants to separate from the country in Catalonia, the Esquerra Republicana nationalist party there. So the PSOE party been doing some dodgy deals over the last few years in order to get its social policies, that's what they call them, the social policies through, because without the support of these parties it would be impossible. Prime Minister Sanchez says this is democracy in action, and as I said, right-wing parties or opposition parties don't seem to share that view. They think that they are doing deals with the devil, and it could well indeed come back to haunt Mr. Sanchez in a couple of weeks' time, and also in those national elections at the end of the year. So we'll wait and see. Now I'll just do a U-turn here, turn around and get back on the highway, get back into where I live, because it was an inconvenience, that car wash being closed. Don't know why that is, but I have to find somewhere else, so a bit of an inconvenience. But anyway, now last weekend we celebrated our local town parties or fiestas where I live. A fairly big event. Lots of people turned out in force, of course, celebrating the local town parties. A lot of people like these parties. There's lots of what they call casetas, or little huts, if you like, where you can buy something to eat, get a drink, rides for the kids and things like that. Fireworks on Sunday, lots of noise. The dog wasn't happy, of course, with those fireworks. And I'm always surprised by how many people turn out for these local parties, fiestas populares, and they are a popular event, and it shows popular culture in this country at its best or worst, if you're like me and you don't really like these fiestas. But what I don't understand, I don't know if this happens in other town parties around the country, but they're very politicized. A lot of the casetas or the huts are political organizations. For example, there was Izquierda Unida, the left-wing party. Podemos had one. The PP party, the PSOE, Vox had one. And I get the feeling that it is politicized. It's a politicized event. And with elections so close, they use that time also to bring politicians out to the local parties so that they can give their speeches with a big crowd in front of them. And that's what they did, of course, at the weekend, a couple of the political parties. So in my opinion, a little bit too politicized, the local parties. I would like to keep politics out of this. I don't mind associations having these casetas, for example, sporting clubs or other associations, but political parties, I don't think so, but that's just my opinion, so let me know what you think on the topic. Another topic still dominating the press is the drought in Spain. An interesting article in the French 24 online publication talking about the drought, how dry it is. They use the expression in Abril aguas mil. We're now at the 17th of May, and those April rains didn't come. In Abril aguas mil translates to in April there will be 1,000 rains, and that's what people have historically relied on, those April rains, the spring rains if you like, but they didn't come this year, so still very dry. And farmers on the television almost every day telling people that food prices are going to go up and up and up and up, especially some important food items like olive oil, which we're being told is going to be very expensive if it doesn't rain soon. So not good there, considering how important that product is in Spain. One thing that caught my attention is that the Doñana issue, that national park down there in the south of Spain, in the Cádiz, Huelva, Seville provinces, and the local government down there, the PP government in Andalusia, has been trying to fix the situation, or say that they're going to deal with the situation of the drought, the lack of water, the illegal watering that goes on down there, the illegal wells. And what's making the paper today is the story of a huge housing estate, some 300 houses that are going to be built in a town very close to this Doñana National Park. And apparently there's going to be golf courses there, there's going to be swimming pools, of course. People like to have swimming pools on their properties. And with the water situation in Doñana, is it a good idea to build such a big housing estate, a new housing estate, so close to that troubled area in Spain, troubled environmental area in Spain, the Doñana National Park? Again, a bad idea, but the mind boggles with some of the crazy politics that goes on in this country and some of the crazy decisions that are taken even when we are in the middle of a drought. Who would think that it is a good idea to build 300 houses and golf courses and 300 houses with possibly 300 swimming pools? Absolutely mind-boggling in my opinion, but hey, that's what goes on in this country. And the final thing I'm going to talk about just before I go to the petrol station to clean the car is the political tension that we have here in Spain between parties. Somebody mentioned in the comment section that it seems strange that all politicians in this country do is continuously insult each other, fire the insults back and forth, not only in the parliament but also outside the parliament as well. The tension between political parties, you can almost taste the tension. Absolutely terrible. And I don't know if that is the same in other countries around the world, or whether politics is a calmer environment, or whether people are insulting each other. I know in Australia people insult each other in the parliament, but they don't seem to use the vocabulary that they use here. Here the vocabulary is over the top, a lot of serious insults going on, but it's all part of politics in this country, and it does surprise some people that are watching politics in this country for the first time, the amount of insults that are thrown back and forth, and the names that people call each other as well, also quite strong. But as I said, hey, it's part of politics in this country and the low quality of politicians that we have, in my opinion. Now I'm going to wrap the video up. I've got a few things to do. I'm going to take advantage of my quiet morning today to run a few errands. Clean the car is one of them. Then I'm going to go to a sports store and buy a new bike helmet. So that's what I've got to do. Questions and comments, please leave them in the section below. Debate the video out as you normally do. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Thumbs down if you didn't. I'll see you in the next one. Hasta luego.